Hey everybody, welcome back to this special two-part episode with Kelly Meade. If you didn't hear the first part, make sure you go back last week to the last episode and listen from the very beginning. We had so much good stuff with Kelly. We didn't want to waste any of it, and we talked to her about all kinds of different stuff. And so we turned this into a two-parter. This is part 2. We're going to jump back into the conversation with Kelly here in just a minute, and then at the end, we play a game. Chris has a fun game for us, and you'll see Kelly and I go toe-to-toe in some CCLI type stuff. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But as usual, this podcast wouldn't be possible without our amazing friends from Elam Fellowship, without Kevin Neville, the guy that does all the work behind the scenes for this. Thank you, Kevin. You are amazing. So check out what's going on with Elam Fellowship and all this cool stuff that they have happening now. Thanks everyone for joining us again on this very special episode, part 2 of our conversation with Kelly Meade.
I go that you've never been. You've proven your goodness again and again.
So Kelly, it's so good to have you here. You've brought so much already to the podcast.
Have you ever made one of those shoe boxes?
I did actually. Yep. I picked it up at Kingdom Bound and I sent it out. I think it was not last year, 2023. I did that.
That's cool.
Because I loved hearing the testimony that the woman who spoke that year and how it affected her to receive one. So I think that's really awesome that they're partnering with Kingdom Bound again.
It's amazing. It's an amazing ministry. I got a chance to go on a trip with them and see what it does, and it's just absolutely incredible. So Kelly, it seems like one of the things... Thank you, Chris.
Oh, wait, I already did that.
It seems like one of the things you really enjoy about today's Christian entertainment and working with them is spotlighting and discovering new up-and-coming artists and bands. What is it about that aspect of your job that you love?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a really cool thing to be able to put together. We've done like an artist to watch list each year for maybe the last 4 years we've done that. And
Like a group of 10.
Well, it started out as I think we had maybe 5 or 6 the first year, and then it's grown.
Nice.
This year's been our largest one. We have 20 this year
Whoa.
because, and we've just
Who's your favorite on the list?
for this year.
Yeah, on the group of 20. Or is that too, you can't reveal yet?
Well,
'cause
no.
It's not out there in the world.
No, it is. We posted it, and so there's a few, and I have them that I'll mention. Well, I guess I could just go ahead and mention each of them. So this year in particular, there's a band called Hopeful. I don't know if you guys have heard them or not. They're like an indie rock band from California, and their lyrics are so deep. And I just been really loving what they're doing so far, and I just am excited to see what happens as they continue on. I know they have an album coming out this year, so that's going to be really cool. I'm excited to see them kind of get beyond California because they're finally starting to get outside of their area. So they're definitely one of my favorites. Daniel Spriggs is another one. He's like, if you like Panic at the Disco or Green Day, but you want the Christian songs, obviously, because some of those,
Right?
but the sound is like what draws you in. So with Daniel, that's what you're getting, and you're getting that solid Christian message, and just being able to his songs really kind of, they turn the conversation like a real honest conversation with God. So he's got Heart to Heart and Show Me How to Live. And then If It Wasn't for Your Love, that's on the album that just came out in February called 21st Century Syndrome.
Okay.
So Daniel Spriggs, 21st Century Syndrome. Check that one out.
Daniel Spriggs.
Yep.
The streamables. Wherever streamables can be found.
And then another on the list this year is John Allen.
Okay.
He's a really creative, artsy, he does this, I just love what he's doing because it's like this alternative rock vibe, but it's just so different than what you're hearing. And some of his stuff, like, you would think it's a soundtrack to like an 80s sci-fi movie almost.
Nice.
Because it has those different sounds to it. Probably.
You throw on no Tron. You just know from the reference I made.
You're right.
But yeah, he had an album, EP called Resurrection Power that came out last fall. Got some really great songs on there. Living God, On and On. He's an awesome one to check out. Let's see, who else have we had this year in particular? Trying to remember, because we had, like I said, we had 20 artists this year, which is insane.
That's really cool, actually, that you like at first you could only get 4 or 5.
And the artists, some of the artists we've had in the past few years have been like, on our first list, we had Ben Fuller, Leanna Crawford, Katie Nicole, and that was, I believe, 2022 or 3.
Yeah.
So it was when they were first starting.
That's your talent. Yeah,
I mean,
Last
it wouldn't be
year,
good.
last
It
year
wouldn't
we
be good.
had
I don't know anything about baseball.
1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
Let's take down.
So
So you're telling me that you're batting 1,000?
we've been able to, like, I don't know, get in on some really good ones early on, and it's just exciting to follow their careers and see where it takes them. Like Jeremy Rosado, he was another one we had a few years ago. This year he's on Winter Jam. He's in the part of the pre-party, and his song just went top 30 for Keep
Wow.
Holding On. So it's really awesome to see, like, especially when you followed from really early on. And you know how much work that they've put into their, their music and their message and sharing their testimony, and it's finally starting to, get
You
that
almost feel
reach.
proud of them.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then like last year we had Jamie McDonald. She was on our list, and Sean Rodriguez has become a bit of a friend of Kingdom Bound.
Yes,
Excited
we love
for
Sean.
all of the stuff that he's up to now. And Grace and Max, they were on our list last year, and they were the ones who joined me at Kingdom Bound for the seminar that I did.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. That ended up being one of the highlights of the year.
That's
So
cool.
excited for
Thanks
what
for
they're
doing that for
doing.
us.
Oh yeah, no problem. But yeah, like I said, it's just really cool. Oh, Allison Ide was another one that we featured last year too.
I
So
was at the festival too last year.
and Grace Graber, she was another.
Yep.
And now she's been like blowing up on social media this
Really?
like the past few months with her Punk Times Praise, where she's doing these covers of like Lemonade and Oceans
Really?
and Gratitude
Making it
and
punk.
yes, she has a
Oh.
full album coming out. It'll be out by the time this airs. So you got to find it. Punk Times Praise. It'll be out. And she's got an
Is that
original.
spelled out, or is that just an X?
An X. Yes. Good question.
Because she's punk.
I knew it. Can't spell it out if you're a punk.
Yep. So yeah, that one's really, I'm excited for that one to come out. It's been really cool to see like just what's happened with her over the
Yeah.
past year. And let's see, what else have I got here? Yeah, those are some of the ones that I'm personally really excited about.
Nice.
I feel you're excited.
I know. See, this is what happens when I start
radiates.
getting onto like the topics that I'm just like I said, excited about.
Yeah,
It just
Rhonda's only not so
why-
much.
Ron-
But up and coming artists. Yeah.
see, well, or favorite artists anyway.
Ron can only
This
would have
is-
made your list.
This is like 7-year-old me in Walmart saying, "Here, you need to listen to this. I love it." I did that. I always did that. So it just carries over and it comes out naturally now. So
Now you get paid to do it. Look at that. Earlier, it was an interesting little thing you threw in there that I said something to the extent of dreams do come true. Then you said, yeah, it took me a little bit to think that way though. I'm interested. It has nothing to do with, Kingdom Bound, but that was, what was that about?
well, because like I always, when I was little growing up, like I said, I lived and breathed music. I always was watching, while other kids were watching cartoons and stuff, I was watching like the Nashville Network or CMT at the time, country music.
Yeah.
So I was watching all the coverage of like the CMT awards or whatever and just being like, oh man, that'd be really cool to do something like that someday. And I always kind of thought I might end up in country music. But then God opened the doors for Today's Christian Entertainment, which led to being able to kind of realize some of those things in Christian music, which of course is a much better space for me to be in. And it took, like I said, it took a little while to kind of realize that, oh, hey, these are actually some of the things that I always wanted to do and never in a million years thought I'd be able to do. And like last year in Nashville, even with the country connection, a special thing that in addition to the Doves, which was amazing, got to do like the red carpet and all that, interviews on the carpet. But while I was in town, we also got to go to the Grand Ole Opry.
Nice.
And not only that, but we got to go backstage and do
That's cool.
we got to just hang out backstage for a while. And that was, like I said, growing up, watching it all the time with my grandparents on TV. Like, and if I wasn't working with Today's Christian Entertainment, who knows if that would have ever happened. So I just like that was just all kind of came full circle,
That scripture that says, seek first the kingdom of God
Mm-hmm.
and all these things will be added. Or even the one that says, God will give you the desires of your heart. Like, it's so true. If you just put him first and live for him and sell your life out for him.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've been realizing more and more is how so personal he is with how he responds. may not be always the way you think,
Right.
but it's going to be something that you can tell afterwards that it's like, oh wow, this really is a kindness and a very personal way to fill your cup and all of that. And just even though there may be still things that you want to happen eventually and they haven't yet, but you can be grateful for all the ways that he is showing up.
Beautiful.
One of the things that I'm kind of seeing kind of coming down the pipe is we've been so lucky and blessed to have these big bands that are now considered headliners, the Mercy Me's, the Casting Crowns, the Skillets, Toby Mac, all these different big bands that, you count on to close the night out, and they're going to bring this amazing experience. And it really seems like in the next season that like all those people that we would call headliners and these big bands, it seems like it's like we're coming to the close of a lot of those careers and seeing a big shift coming. And so it's almost creating like a problem where we don't have as many headliners anymore that we can count on for the festival and things. What do you think about just where we're at in like there seems to be a shift coming of who's going to be a headliner, who's going to be the next big band that closes out your festival or closes out the night? Like, what do you think? What are you seeing?
Yeah, I think like we all have our consistent favorites and the people that, we're always going to love. And I mean, you can look at bands like, We Are Messengers. I'll use them as an example because I absolutely love them. And I think that they have been so consistent over the years, but there's still people who don't know who they are because I'll be like, oh, have you heard such and such song? And they're like, no, never.
Yeah.
And so I think it's kind of neat where there's still that with them. And then ours, like for King and Country, where you think pretty much everybody knows who they are because they've crossed over into other genres, and you can hear them when you walk into the grocery store. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then as far as like being, because like you're saying, how some of the ones we've considered headliners, maybe they're going to start kind of shuffling in that lineup a little bit as the newer ones come up. And I think it's great to be able to still give the newer ones the opportunity. Like, I love how Kingdom Bound does that.
Yeah.
And other venues that I've been, in touch with and stuff who are willing to take that chance on somebody who may not be as well known, but you're introducing them to a whole new audience.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. And there's definitely a lot who are like up and coming, or maybe they're like, I don't know if you want to say like a mid-range, whatever, but that definitely have that potential.
So who are they? Like we talked about, We Are Messengers. They're definitely on the track for that.
Mhm.
Ben Fuller's even, we're talking about having him as a headliner, but who else? Who are some second or third to closers that you think will be headliners in the next 2 or 3 years?
I think Colton Dixon has what it takes to do it. His live shows are pretty cool. If you get to go to one of his headlining tour shows, I say he would definitely be one. I think Leanna Crawford could be there with the track that she's on. Seth Schleter. I loved how I thought when he started speaking in between his songs, I was like, whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard him do that.
Yeah. Well, like when he was like sharing his heart in between the songs at Kingdom Bound.
I didn't get to hear him at Kingdom Bound.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think, was it last year or
Yes,
the year
it
before?
was.
Okay. Yeah. That was just like, I was like, man, I think he's got what it takes to kind of get up there.
He's one of my favorites. I would love to see him become
I think even Ren Collective could do it.
My
for
wife
sure.
loves Ren Collective. If they would just tour more.
Yeah. Well, they've gotten out there the past couple of years for sure. I think they're another one who, even though they've been around a long time, they're kind of into a new chapter now because they have a new lineup.
Yeah, they have a whole new group, right?
Yep, they got a new lineup. They're kind of tweaking their sound where they're leaning into more of an Irish folk rock type sound. They even released a sea shanty.
Yes,
which is amazing.
I love when you say that. By the way.
Sea shanty.
On this seashore.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I would not be mad if they did more of this style because I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's more in line with like their original stuff. Would you say, or not really?
Maybe going way back to when it was like Ren Collective Experiment, I think, because they were doing like the Campfire records and they were a little bit more the traditional Irish.
Yeah.
So I think they are kind of getting back to their roots a bit.
Yeah.
But the messages and the songs are getting deeper.
Yeah. Mumford and Sons kind of did the same thing, right? It's got the same like callback.
So yeah, those are definitely a few. And then I think some of the ones, even like some that I mentioned that are brand new, I think they have the potential to eventually get there.
Kingdom Bound's going to take them there.
We'll be part of it. That's kind of one of the things that we love to do. There's been a few different bands where we've caught them early. We've been lucky enough to catch them early. And I mean, for King and Country, we were the first, from what I've been told, we were the first place to give them a stage, and they would tour with their sister, and they were just kids. And then we knew that they were performing. And so, hey, why don't you hop on the stage over here? So in a past episode, Chris and I, we
wrestled
about some, that was off camera, Chris, you weren't supposed to say that. We talked about some bands that we would love to see one more time. Some bands that either aren't touring or aren't together or even aren't alive. It could be. So we had our list, but if there was one band that you could catch one more live performance, who would it be?
So I feel like I'm pretty blessed to where a lot of my favorite ones are still together and they are still touring. However, I never got to see Building 429.
Okay.
So I didn't get to see them.
Pulled that out.
And
their big hit again?
Where I Belong.
Oh.
All I know is I'm not home yet. This is not where I belong. That one.
29.
So yeah, they're one. And then I think it's awesome that Third Day is reunited for their
really?
Yeah, they're doing their 30th the fall. They're doing their 30th anniversary tour this spring. So I think it'll be really cool to see if they kind of see how that goes. Maybe they'll add some more because they don't have any around here, but it would be amazing to see them again. So it's cool that they're getting back out there. And it's the original lineup too. So that's pretty awesome. There was a group that I saw a couple times. They were a lot of fun, and you guys may not ever recognize them, but 33 Miles.
Oh, yeah.
You know that?
Right?
Yep.
That was like kind of like, if I remember, like disciple type music.
No,
Was
they
hard?
weren't super rock. No, they were more.
Thinking of.
I don't know, but they were almost.
the album cover in my mind.
They were almost more of a countryside.
This is like middle
Yeah.
school.
Okay, they weren't that. I don't think they would be that old.
I must be thinking of somebody else.
Yeah, but yeah, 33 Miles, they were a fun one to see. And then I can throw a couple outside of Christian music if you want.
Go for
We
it.
don't do that here.
Well, it's still
Well,
would kind of tie in. So there's one band that I really regret never going to see when I could have had the chance. That's Three Doors Down.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
given the fact that, Brad Arnold recently passed and
Yeah.
just to see the change that he experienced later in his life too.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of their concerts the past few years before they had to stop touring, he was out there sharing the gospel and what God has done in his life.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen the videos of it, but it's like, man, I wish I could have gone to see them, because you never know. And that's why, like, one of my philosophies is you only regret the concerts you don't go to.
There you go.
So that's why I try to go to as many as possible.
Nice.
So, and then one that might really throw you is if I could go back to like the 1960s and see the Beach Boys in like one of their high eras, that would be cool.
Beach Boys. You want to know my first exposure to the Beach Boys?
No.
Full House.
Yep.
Okay.
They played on Full House.
What's Full House?
Oh, I hate you right now. TGIF, man. Thank God it's Friday.
I remember those days.
It is Friday.
It is Friday today. You're not supposed to tell them when it is.
Oh, it's May 3rd. What's May 3rd?
It's the day that Bob Dylan started the note.
You got it.
Not what?
Nice.
Kelly, final question. Probably the most important question.
Really matters.
We
Really philosophical.
hope that you put a lot of thought into when you answer this.
Yeah, forget about it. What's art or
We've
worship.
asked everyone that we've interviewed so far, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh my gosh.
And you have to give your reason why it is or isn't.
Okay, it's a sandwich because it has bread.
That's it? Anything?
That's
So
my
if I put two
definitive
pieces
answer.
of bread
sandwich.
right here, this is a microphone sandwich?
Yes.
Always?
Yes.
No exceptions.
not
Even if
edible,
it's
but
connected.
yes.
Okay.
So we've gotten one argument where it was
I
connected.
could eat it.
Even if the bread is connected, it's still a sandwich.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
your little yes.
Okay.
You're our
Then-
first yes, by the way.
What about...
So you're
if
throwing
that's
us off.
true, what about the Tim Hortons chili bowl in bread?
Okay, so a
Because
bread
that's
bowl.
connected. It's called a bowl.
A bread bowl.
Who's gonna
Maybe that's
push your?
different
I'm
thing.
pushing your definition. If it's connected,
I didn't say if it was connected.
She
That
said it was
different.
if it's
Yeah.
bread.
If
it's
it's
bread-
something in between bread and you eat it with your hands, it's a sandwich.
What do you like?
so then when all the chili's gone, and then
you have a sandwich.
and then you have that
There
sandwich
you go.
because that little top part comes off, and like that's a sandwich.
Do you get the bread bowl if you get the
I
chili?
haven't had that in a very long time.
It's good. You rip the sides off as you're eating it.
Like rye bread,
I don't know what kind of bread it is.
soda bread.
So a hot dog is a sandwich.
In my opinion, yes.
Every time, no exceptions.
All right.
Hey, this has been fun.
Normally we would say, Kelly, it's been great having you, but you're going to stay with us for the rest of the episode.
Hey, Kelly, it's been great having you.
It's good to be here.
That's great.
This is an Operation Christmas Child shoebox. It's about 4.5 inches tall. Now imagine stacking every shoebox gift packed this year, one on top of another. It would take 3,000 shoebox gifts to reach the height of the Eiffel Tower. To reach the top of Mount Everest, it would take 77,000 shoebox gifts. Now imagine the distance to the International Space Station. And still, you packed more shoebox gifts this year. You all packed 12,205,900 shoebox gifts. And that's not just a number. That is the gospel going across the globe to 12.2 million children. 12.2 million children that will hear the name of Jesus.
So I have no idea what this is. Okay. I asked Chris to give me at least a little bit of an idea.
Then you wouldn't get ruined.
Because he didn't want me to cheat. He thinks I'm a cheater.
I do.
But
All right,
the question is it something I can play too?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it. That's
Don't
why.
worry, you're going to smoke them.
Because I'm telling you that I'm not going to know any of these. Okay.
I can get pretty competitive. Maybe I should back up.
I would like you as
Not
do you
need to
please hit him?
Competitive. There's
You might
there's
deserve it.
no competition.
Michael. All right, so we got a fun little thing planned here. You know why? Because Mike was like, we got to do something fun. So I figured I'm going to pit you two against each other.
Yeah, normally when the person we interview would leave, but
Yeah.
she's with us the whole episode, so she gets
Yep,
to do
you're
the fun
stuck
thing
with
with
me.
us.
Thanks for sticking
Putting
around.
up with us, really.
It's really just, who else? You're next to him. So you said you started in 2018 doing this thing. So you know how there's CCLI, right? And they keep track of these things. And we went on vacation recently and we went to a church and, you know, you can expect to hear similar songs across this nation if you go to church on any given Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to test your knowledge.
All
And I think she's going to beat you.
Oh dear.
She's gonna-
Don't set me up for failure.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have 5 different songs.
Okay.
Eventually the lyric, the name of the song will be in the lyric.
I am really
You're going to get
good
3
at naming that
chances
term,
to guess
so.
the song.
Okay.
I'm going to I'll throw that up there, Kevin, if you could. Here it comes. Bum, bum, bum. Da, 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 da. So I'm going to give you the year that I grabbed this from, that it was number 5 on the CCLI chart during Super Bowl weekend.
Of this year?
It's going to be, you'll see. So look,
Okay.
the CCLI date, 2026.
Okay.
The release date of this song, 2018. Do you see how this works so far? Now, the reason why it was Super Bowl Sunday in my mind, I was collecting data for my own self. Like, maybe a bunch of churches on Sunday morning are doing, "You are my champion," because, you know, it's Super Bowl Sunday, but it wasn't there. I guess we all missed an opportunity because, you know, if I would have gone to Father's Day, you know, would have been number 1.
Good father.
See, so, but there was no repeats, so I had to go to 5.
Okay.
5th most popular song, February 2026.
Of this year.
Yeah, that's 2026 is this year. Last night.
Is it a worship song?
Well, it's for Sunday.
And are you
morning.
going to play it, or
No,
do we
I'm
just
going
have
to
to
give you
guess?
the lyrics. Ready? Watch.
Oh, you're going
Kevin, hit it up.
Okay.
And I will.
I will.
Now, maybe you'll be able to get to the rest of the song from there, but probably you won't. So, Kevin, give him the next one, Kevin. Oh, and I will not be shaken. Now,
Oh.
you're probably going to be like thinking
Oh,
it's like,
man.
oh, this is probably like that one song by Jonathan Helzer, but it's not.
I'm hearing it in my head. You got to give me one
Okay,
more.
give him it.
Oh,
Come on. It's right there.
build my life.
Build my
Pat
life.
Barrett.
Thank you. Reveal, build my life, have Paris. So she
So-
technically won that one, but we'll give it a slide. 0-0.
I think we should play as a team, Kelly. It's not good. You're going to smoke me if we die.
Guys, this is.
Okay, so
I will not be shaken.
yeah.
And I,
So that was the number 5.
that was. They're all number 5
Oh, they're all
because otherwise there was too many repeats.
okay. Okay,
Because you know how we are.
okay. All right. Try again. Try again.
Number 2. Here it comes.
Okay.
So February, Super Bowl Sunday, 2024. The release date of the song was 2023. And the first lyric is,
I've got a reason to.
Let's see, next lyric.
Praise the Lord.
Let's see it.
Oh, my soul.
Oh, you got
Praise the Lord.
Everybody, I'm going to stand up.
Oh.
Thank you. All right.
That
was
might be
great.
the only one.
That is one.
That's 1-1.
Yeah.
Never mind. We're not on a team anymore.
Well, if it's a tie game, we're going to give you that first one, okay? So here we go. Number 3. Here we go. 2022.
This is
Super
2022.
Bowl Sunday.
Okay, February 2022.
Release date, 2020.
Okay.
First, You're the Only.
You're the only
You're the only one.
I love.
Yeah.
No.
that's
No, that's not it.
That's not worship.
Let's go. You got it. You got it. You're the
Give you
only.
a chance. All right, second lyric. Here we go.
only one who can.
Yeah. Come on, guys. It's a really long can.
One who. Oh, give me another one.
Give him the next.
Oh,
Oh,
Grace in the Garden.
She said it first. She said it first. Come on, guys.
I didn't like it.
Yes.
It's a long can. Come on.
Yes.
Raising the Gardens.
Nice.
It's a great one. 6-8 also, by the way. All right, number 4.
You're into time. You're into the time.
I'm just telling you that there's a secret chord. There's a secret time signature. 2020 Super Bowl weekend.
All right.
2019 release.
Here we go.
Here comes a lyric.
Oh, shoot.
Death is defeated.
Yes.
In every Easter song you've ever heard.
And I ran out of that grave.
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's
Next one?
give you a few more.
Oh, man, come on. I know this one.
Is this a Phil Wickham song? The King is alive.
Next one.
Oh,
Raise
praise
the
the hallelujah.
Okay. She keeps saying it quicker than you. Come on, guys.
But I read it. That thing is.
Nice.
I don't know who to give that one to. Mom?
Half
What do you
a point
think?
each.
All right. All right. We're just.
We should have a bell that would stay there.
here.
That would be like
Let's just make this whoever
Worth
gets this
all the
win.
marbles. Here we go.
This one's worth 500 points.
Here we go. 2018
Here we go.
Super Bowl.
Wait, 2018. I gotta think
weekend.
about. Okay.
It's a weekend,
2018.
but it was released
in
in 2017.
This is Super Bowl weekend.
You released.
Ooh. He. Oh.
Tricked you on this one. That's why this one's left.
He.
You're gonna kick yourself once you understand
How he
those
loves?
songs. Close. All right, I think we'll give him the next one, Kevin.
Yes. I have no idea.
I'll give you the beat.
Is it 6-8? Next line.
Next line.
King of my heart.
You guys don't know
King of my heart.
Oh, she beat you. Come on, I told you. Eventually, the lyric name. The song.
Sing that song, Chris.
It's that you are good. Good.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that's Loki. It's my song. Yeah. There you go. See, I had to throw in my fanboyness at the end one.
Game.
It was fun. I gotta admit, I think for as popular as all those songs were, all that first one you nailed.
Yes. The second one I nailed.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I'm not good with song names.
For all you listening, I just shook her hand because she's the victor. Way to go. So that was our fun thing.
I think if you do name that tune again, it should be name the song in like 1 second and just
Yes.
play like the beginning of
Like
the song.
That would be
beat,
fun.
like the note. right?
That I might be able to.
So as we close, Kelly, thank you so much for hanging out with
Thanks
us.
for having me.
I think this episode was like 1,000,000 times better because you were here. So thank you. Like,
A million and one times better. You're going to outdo Mike.
So we still want to hear from you guys that listen to this podcast. We want to hear, like we talked about, a band that you would bring back. I would love to hear people's thoughts on a band. You had some really good
Building Force 109.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she got secular on us and we had to edit that part out. But here's the deal. For a future episode, we really want you to email us at kbinsiderpod@gmail.com a worship song that maybe you haven't heard in a long time that you would want to bring back in rotation. I just heard one the other day that I'm going to suggest when we do this, but in a couple episodes from now.
You're going to keep it a secret to all.
Oh yeah, we want to
Right.
build drama. But yeah, what's a worship song that you haven't heard in a long time that you would love for your worship leader just to bang out this weekend? Email us, kbinsiderpod@gmail.com. I don't want to hear your answers, Chris. Wait for the episode. Kelly, if you want to give one, feel free because you're not going to be here. But yeah, so email us. We'd love to hear from you. And in our next episode, we are going to hear from some of Kingdom Bound's favorite artists that come year after year and are part of making the festival great. So it's going to be really cool.
Make it great.
This was really fun. Thanks
I had a
so
good
much.
Oh, you're good.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for listening. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go subscribe
Click the thing.
on all the major platforms. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe there. Make sure you
Write a letter to your friend.
Yep.
Send it in the mail.
We put out episodes every 2 weeks, so make sure you subscribe. See you, everybody.
Hope is alive in the flood and the fire. Count it all joy. Man, we got that joy.